like he cooked up a pretty tasty keynote speech as well. I think he should have been presented, though, by his Iron Chef arch rival Morimoto. Maybe next time, maybe next time. As I was boring all of you with details about Sir Archie and Lexington earlier, and I saw your eyes starting to glaze over when I got about halfway through it, I knew there was one gentleman, at least one person out there, who was nodding his head, saying, yep, that's it, I knew that, I know all about that. It happens to be one of thoroughbred racing's premier historians, and I'll turn over the podium to him now. He's celebrating his 25th year as chairman of the Hall of Fame nominating committee, Mr. Edward L. Bowman.
Thank you. I know that the word historian is code word for old, so I'm not One of the highlights of the Hall of Fame Day is always the welcome back members of this unique society. I would have said fraternity, but Dan Kelly was here. We're going to introduce them again, and please try to hold your applause until all have been introduced. And I'm going to have to scan the group to see who among those we expected are actually here. Eddie Maple. A member of the class of 2009, Eddie won 4,398 races in 34 years in the saddle. He won the Belmont Stakes in 1980 with Temperance Hill, and in 1985 with Prem Fresh. He won the Travelers Stakes 3 times, including back-to-back runs in 80 and 81. Eddie won the Saranac Handicap 7 times, the Saratoga Special 5 times, the Dwyer 4 times, the Manhattan and Metropolitan 3 times each, and the Alabama twice. Eddie won the George Wolf Award in 1995 and the Mike Venetia Award in 1998. He also rode the Immortal Secretary for victory in the horse's final race at Nathan's International in 1973. Eddie Maple. Janet Elliott, also a member of the class of 2009. Janet became only the second woman inducted into the Hall of Fame and the first lady trainer in the Shrine. An assistant to Jonathan Shepard for 11 years, Janet went out on her own in 1979 and was trained some of the top steeplechase horses in the game, including 3 champions. He ended Mr. Shepard's 18-year run as a leading money on winning steeplechase trainer in 1991. Janet has led steeplechase trainers in earnings twice and has been in the top 13 times. Janet Elliott. Jonathan Shepard, I believe he's here. Oh, okay. Jonathan Shepard explained that he had to leave early. I was hoping he could be for this, but he, you talk about longevity is quite a part of the Hall of Fame. I'm sorry, Mr. Shepard had to leave. He's running a filly in the Beverly Lee tomorrow. But I don't think any other major sports figure has the longevity of horse trainers. When Jonathan Shepard won the A.P. Smithick Memorial last week, it marked the 44th consecutive year that he's won at least one race at Saratoga. Jerry Bailey. Member of the class of 1995, Jerry led all North American jockeys in earnings 7 times and won 7 Eclipse Awards, more than any other rider in history. He won 50 and 193 career races and ranked second all-time in earnings with $296 million. He won the Kentucky Derby, Preakness Stakes, and Belmont each twice. They had a record 15 Breeders' Cup races, including 5 runnings of the Breeders' Cup Classic. Since his retirement in 2006, Gary has delivered expert racing analysis as a television broadcaster. Gary Bailey. D. Wayne Lucas, a member of the class of 1999, Wayne is the sport's all-time leading trainer in earnings with more than $257 million. Through July of this year, he has won 4,625 career races. He has conditioned 24 champions, and today his gracefully open mind will receive her place beside him in the Hall of Fame. Wayne has a record 18 Breeders' Cup victories. He's been the top trainer in terms of earnings 14 times. He also won 16 training titles in New York and earned 4 Eclipse Awards. He's won the Kentucky Derby and Belmont Stakes 4 times each, and the Preakness Stakes 5 times. That total of 13 Triple Crown events ties him for the most ever with fellow Hall of Famer Sonny Jim Fitzsimmons. Perhaps the most telling one-liner about Wayne, though, is that he once won 6 consecutive Triple Crown races. Every time I say that, it still amazes me. And of course, after the streak was finally broken, he came back 1 race later to win another Belmont, giving him 7 out of 8 Triple Crown events over 3 seasons. Wayne Lucas. Mr. Tommy Shelby. When we speak of longevity of trainers, Tommy Kelly is a case in point. Next month, Woodland will be run here at Saratoga. Tommy Kelly won the first Woodward in 1954 with Pet Bully. Member of the Hall of Fame class in 1993, Mr. Kelly served in World War II and enjoyed a 54-year career as a thoroughbred trainer. He conditioned 65 stakes winners, including the champion Blood Nickel. Other notable horses trained with Mr. Kelly included Colonel Moran, Noble Answer II, Topsider, King's Bishop, Globemaster, Far Out East, and Salzburg. His horses won the Sheepshead Day 3 times, the Arlington Classic, Good Memorial, and Saranac Price, and also the Massachusetts Handicap, Florida Derby, and Manhattan, among others. He's a regular here at the Hall of Fame ceremony, which we so much appreciate, and he will celebrate his 92nd birthday in September. Jerkens. Again, we speak of longevity. When Alan Jerkens had his first big horse, it was the son of War Admiral, a horse of a different era. And Mr. Jerkens has been a Hall of Famer for 36 years, since 1975. Today he will be joined in the Hall by his fabulous filly, Sky Beauty. Mr. Jerkens began training in 1950 and is still forging success 61 years later. Through July, he has 3,819 career wins and earnings of more than $100 million. Mr. Jerkens has been the leading trainer in New York 4 times, and the Saratoga Training Championship was named in his honor last year. He won the 1973 Eclipse Award for Outstanding Trainer and has been honored by the New York Turf Riders as the Outstanding Trainer 5 times. Known as the Chief, Mr. Jerkens years ago established a pattern of defeating legendary champions such as Kelso, Secretariat, and Buckpatcher. You can see he is never one to back away from a challenge. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have another round of applause for Thank you. Now, through a quirk in scheduling, as you know, this is Arlington Million Week in Chicago. There is an event, a fundraiser for the Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund, and a number of Hall of Fame jockeys are there. I wanted to just mention that Walter Blum, Bill Bolin, Angel Cordero, Pat Day, Curly Fires, Sandy Hawley, Chris McCarron, Lafitte Pinkai, Randy Romero, John Rotz, Ron Turcott, and Bobby Usser. I hope you're watching and they realize that we miss them, but we appreciate the fact that they're doing something for their fellow riders. Hope it'll work out, they can come back next year. Now we move on to the introduction of the Hall of Fame class of 2001 from the Historic Review category. First is Shelby Pike Barnes. Competed in an era when African-American jockeys were prominent in the sport during the late 19th century, Shelby Pike Barnes was widely recognized by turf experts to be among the elite of his profession. Born in Beaver Dam, Kentucky in 1871, Barnes became a star as a teenager. In 1888, he led all North American riders with 206 wins, becoming the first jockey to top 200 wins in a single year. His 1888 campaign is even more remarkable considering that his closest pursuer, George Covington, rode just 95 winners. Barnes also had the highest win percentage that year, including among winners of 32.9%. Barnes secured his status as a big money rider with a star-making performance in the inaugural Futurity in 1888. Staged by the Coney Island Jockey Club at Sheepshead Day in Brooklyn, Futurity was the richest sporting event ever in America at that time, paying an unheard of $40,000 to the winner. Aboard the favorite Proctor Knott, Barnes battled future Hall of Famer Salvatore and jockey Tony Hamilton in the 6-furlong sprint for 2-year-olds. Barnes and Proctor Knott dug in during the stretch to secure a half-length victory, one of those famous races of the 19th century. There's a wonderful painting of that event over in the Hall of Fame Museum. Barnes repeated as North America's leading jockey in 1889 with 170 wins. He won the Travers on Long Dance and the Champagne Stakes with June Wade. 1890, he piloted Burlington's victories in the Belmont Stakes and Brooklyn Derby. In that summer, he captured the Alabama on Sinaloa II. He had other major scores in 1891 when he rode the standout Penny to victory in the Brooklyn Derby. He rode for several of the top owners of his era, including James Van Hagen, Marcus Bailey, and Lucky Baldwin. Other major victories included the first special, Flag Stakes, Great Western Stakes, Tony Derby, and Tony Oaks. Barnes began to fade from the scene after 1891 and passed away in 1937. In Columbus, Ohio, in 1908, in a letter to the National Museum of Racing, from Hall of Fame trainer Fred Burley, who ranked Barnes as one of the top 5 African American jockeys in history. Now, to accept the Hall of Fame plaque in honor of Shelby Pike Barnes of Beaver Dam, Kentucky, is another jockey from Beaver Dam, Kentucky. Mr. Willie Tishner was once a contract rider at the Green Tree Stable, and he is the all-time leading rider at the now defunct Liberty Bell Park. By coincidence, Mr. Tishner said that the best horse he ever rode was owned by the Jeffords family, who have been mainstays here at the National Museum of Racing since its beginning. Mr. Willie Tishner.
Thank you. Up to a couple of weeks ago, I thought I was the only and best jockey that ever come from Beaver Dam, Kentucky. And now I am proud to be second, proud to accept this award on behalf of Shelby Pike Barnes. Honored and proud. Thank you very much.